Hey everybody, and welcome to the King of Shadows 1111 YouTube channel. This is Queen of Light 1111 here with your Monday reading. I hope you guys are all doing well. And I wanted to just remind you guys, I just did a Queen of Light 1111 reading, so make sure you watch those first. And in that reading, I have announced a back to school sale. We are going to be offering a special video reading, and it is 4 lessons your counterpart is learning on their journey as related to you. This video reading is only available for a limited time, so book now while I have that reading available on my website. And so again, 4 lessons your counterpart is learning on their journey as related to you. Now, at the end of the Queen of Light 1111 video, I did say that, hey, if you guys want to know what your lessons are just for yourself on your journey, as related to masculine, then you can book this reading and just specify in the email and an email response to me and just say, hey, instead of knowing about the counterpart, can I understand what the lessons are for me? So just make sure that you specify that. And frankly, if you want to know what your lessons are and what your counterpart's lessons are as related to each other, then you can book 2. You can get one for yourself and you can get one as related to your counterpart. So let's go ahead and take a look at, in this video, what is your counterpart learning on their journey as related to you. So thank you again for joining me today, and let's get started. Wow, look at all this color. Look at all this orange. And this is kind of red. Very interesting. So we have this card here, this purple. This is really about the energy of spirit. The colors, right? So we're just looking at colors. I'm not even looking at what the card says. So bottom of the deck, we have this blue, which is really giving me throat chakra vibes. This violet energy is giving me the energy of, spirit. It's giving me the energy of his third eye. And also, frankly, his crown. We have this orange here in these 2 cards. This is all about the sacral chakra. This is all about the energy of sitting in your vulnerability, personal expression. Also the sexual organs. So I also feel like if the masculine was in the energy where, having frivolous, intimate relations, I feel like he's learning a lot about that. And then we have this red, which is about the root chakra. And so that really feels to me that energy of what is truly making him feel stable, what makes him feel comfortable and, very rooted in the earth. Let's go ahead and get started. Bottom of the deck, the theme for the reading, we have freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my happiness. Isn't that a word we typically get with masculine? Free will. This is about him being open to receiving new wisdom and insights. Okay, this is allowing him to make the right choices for his growth. He's also remembering that he's never a victim of other people or their circumstances. Okay, that he has complete control over his own choices. So if he's used his free will decision to separate from feminine, to choose another connection or choose work or choose family, he's starting to realize the consequences of his decision. He's also realizing that when he doesn't follow his heart, he's not being authentic to himself. So he's starting to make decisions based on his own happiness, by his own path, and realizing that he's responsible for creating his own reality. I love this. So masculine's first lesson being learned as related to his divine feminine. So what is he learning on his journey as related to feminine? Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So it's very interesting. So when he sits in his truth, when he sits in the energy of his inner knowingness, he connects to his spirit, he connects to his wisdom. And who sits in his heart? His divine feminine, his inner feminine, his sacred feminine. So here he's learning to tell the difference between ego talk and soul talk. I love this. You know, he's been driven by ego. He's been making free will decisions based on ego, right? Thinking that those choices are going to make him happy. He's not freeing himself from that. And he's trusting his inner voice. He's trusting his soul. And he knows that when he trusts his soul, and if he gets into the habit of trusting his intuition, then he's going to be able to truly tell if a person or a situation is trustworthy. But he has to start by exercising that muscle, that inner voice within him to determine what's right. And then that wisdom, that insight, that trust is going to spread into everything that he does. The soul only wants what's best for you. And he's starting to learn that. Second lesson that he's learning, forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So this is very much an energy where, you know, he's always been in the energy. I hate to use words always. He's typically been in the energy of feeling like a victim, right? He's been in the energy where he was not allowing natural love to come in because there was too much negative energy of hate or anger, intolerance, or blame. Every soul in his path has free will, and he has no control over that. But what he does have control over is how he reacts to the manifestation of others' free will. Holding on to negative energy strengthens karmic cycles, and forgiveness breaks that pattern. The most important person he has to forgive is himself. And blaming himself for failures blocks the natural flow of love, which attracts good things into life. Now, where do we get the failure card? I think it was in the same position for Divine Feminine. So if once Feminine releases that energy of failure, once she stops blaming other people, do you see how the masculine energy is shifting as well? He starts to also create his own happiness. He starts to trust his inner feminine, which makes him also trust his outer feminine. There's this energy here where when he forgives himself and he is also forgiven, the flow of love starts to come in. Oh my God, just the mirroring here. Third lesson is the death card. Well, it's not the death card like in tarot, but this death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. Death is an illusion. It's the fact of life that the human body will eventually transition, will stop working. The soul transitions. The physical body is not meant to last for energy forever. The energy, the consciousness, that body is free and returns to its natural home, but it never abandons us. So he's starting to learn to view death as change, that everything must change, that stagnancy extinguishes progress. So he's starting to see that he cannot stay the same anymore. He cannot be stagnant anymore. That if he stays in the same energy of ego and victimization and negativity and self-hate or self-sabotage, he is going to stay stagnant. Right? Not only in a relationship, but it's also for a career. He knows that a soul lesson has to be completed. A karmic lesson has to be completed. A karmic cycle has to be completed. And he knows that he's starting to learn when it's time to move on. He has to thank those souls that have come into his life, that shared a part of his path, and that have taught him so much, including his feminine. His feminine came in, taught him some lessons, and things ended. Or there became a separation. He went into a karmic cycle, a karmic connection. And if he's holding on to that, he's staying stagnant. He's not allowing the growth to occur. Final lesson for this reading as related to his divine feminine. Grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Nothing is gone forever. The belief that he's lost someone or something is just an illusion for him to appreciate what he had in the first place. The emotion of grief and loss, it's difficult. But the lesson of loss is not just the physical separation, because as we all know, separation is temporary. Separation is an illusion. The point of the lesson is to acknowledge that the bond of love that he has for his feminine will never end, and it's never abandoned. But when he accepts in his heart that he will be reunited with everything that he has loved, when he starts to appreciate his divine feminine and the love that they shared, he's going to be able to move beyond that grief and really get something beneficial from the experience. But if he wallows in the grief, like that Five of Cups energy, he's going to pass up the opportunity to learn. So he needs to allow his grief to take him to a place of understanding, of acceptance, and appreciation. So this is interesting. So he's got F and G, 2 F's and a G. We have D and T, so it would be like D, E, F, G, right? So there's some alignment here as well. But I'm not at all surprised that we don't have complete alignment, because feminine is coming into her alignment as she learns her lessons. And she is the popcorn trail person, right? She leaves the popcorn trail for masculine to trust his inner feminine, to forgive himself and forgive others, to let go of things so that new beginnings can occur, and start to appreciate what may be perceived as loss, but can frankly be a new beginning again. Again, if you guys want to book this specific reading, go to queenoflight1111.com. Have a wonderful day. Bye.